So really strong outlook for the current period, but open the release and go straight to the section about gross margin and see that gross margins were impacted in the quarter because they sold obsolete older generation MI308 AMD Instincts to China. So that's had an impact on its margins here. That might be what's weighing on the shares. Don't know, but that current 1 quarter revenue outlook, fiscal first quarter, $9.5 to $10.1 billion. Overall, that's pretty strong, pretty healthy, and clearly in the quarter gone, overall they've had a significant and healthy beat too. I just go straight to that margins section of the release and wonder if that's what that is.
So by selling this older product at a less of a margin, that's what affected the company's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
brings things down overall for sure. Yeah.
We spoke earlier to Kunjan out there in the San Francisco bureau, and he was essentially saying the next 2 quarters for this company, Ed, are going to be sort of like, and this is just specific to AMD. You have to watch it closely because these are the quarters where they're going to be going out and showing off their new hardware, showing off their new capacity to the open AIs of the world, for example. So really not ignore, but don't look until the second half of the year. Is that an assessment you agree with?
They have, much like the earlier days of Nvidia, a very similar story where they now have a server design where within that server design, AMD owns more of the content. So it goes beyond just saying like we do the GPU, we do the accelerator card. They're owning more of that server design. You guys just had Wu Jin on talking about like the economics of what's happening right now in AI servers. If an AMD is owning that more of it, better for them, right? Than have a third party assemble it and touch more parts of the dollar value chain. The issue is timing. So we know that this next generation of chip inside of the next generation server design is coming at some point in the second half of this year. The second half is a big 6-month spread, right? You want them to say like, oh, this is June, but I'm searching and scanning the release and I just don't see it right now. Yeah. I guess that's something to look for on the call.
Here's some
timing really matters.
Yeah, totally get. And there is some commentary. They're saying we are entering 2026 with strong momentum across our business, led by accelerating adoption of our high-performance EPYC and Ryzen CPUs and the rapid scaling of our data center AI franchise.
Right.
It sounds kind of a little generic, and it sounds like wait and see.
Well,
no. Okay, you're the expert. Help me. Yeah.
So remember, we have been absolutely fixated with the market for GPUs,
right.
AI accelerators, right? Nvidia dominates that market. It's where the value's been. It's been the unlock in the world of AI. GPUs are used to train. They're also used to run inference. But you have to have CPUs in the design of a server. As many CPUs in there as you do GPUs, right? When we had Intel's earnings, on the face of it, their issue was that they didn't manage their supply very well. Mm-hmm. They burned through inventory to get to customers because demand for CPU is there right now. But the other takeaway from it when the dust settled was, did AMD take market share in data center CPU from Intel? That is Intel's long history bread and butter. Looking at the numbers in the quarter gone and this commentary in the release, AMD seems to have done well in CPU. Go back to your prior question. That's why it's so important we get the commentary on the timing and real-world deployment of next-generation GPU, because we don't have that answered yet.
And I will say Kunjan Sabani of our Bloomberg Intelligence team did say data center CPUs, we have seen some pretty strong demand, and he did talk about AMD having the best margins in the business when it comes to this particular area, Tim.
Ed, before we let you go, big picture, does this company hold a candle to Nvidia?
Oh, well, I just look at my Bloomberg terminal. Data center revenues in the quarter gone are 1/10 of what Nvidia does in a quarter. Wow. And that includes both GPU and CPU. So how do you want to slice and dice that?
I don't know.
Maybe an optimist would say room for growth.
room for growth and opportunity to take market share. Sure.
Just remember, Intel used to be the big kahuna, and AMD now has a larger market cap than Intel. So things can change.
They can.
You're not a believer yet.